In this preview, I'm going to pick up where I left off in the northern Spain, Mysteries of the Abandoned flight plan. Finally get to see my Canfranc Rail Station. If you saw the previous video, it was pretty long, so I went ahead and made an unscheduled landing at Bigorre de Gallego, which it's not actually an airport available in Flight Simulator, but it is a legitimate airport, and in fact you can even see it on the imagery in World Map. It's there. As you can see, it doesn't have an ICAO code or any sort of code. ES0165 was the best I could come up with, but I just left it on the flight plan just to show that you can take off from anywhere or set up your own airport, whether it exists in Flight Simulator or not. This leg is going up into the Pyrenees Mountains. We see our Canfranc Rail Station, Esco, Spain. The Mysteries of the Abandoned waypoints have an S number that indicates the season, so this would be Season 6, Episode 11, Segment 3, tells you what the story is with Esco. I have to admit I don't recall. And the Canfranc Rail Station, which was my main point of interest that I wanted to see. It's a really interesting building from World War II or pre-World War II era. I believe if you were taking a rail south from France, you had to get off and get onto a different train here at Canfranc Rail Station because the gauge of the railways was different heading south through Spain than it was coming down from France. So we'll go ahead and check that out, see what we've got. There's also several points of interest from World Map that we'll stop at, and then landing at Lourdes. We'll go ahead and take off. We're flying the Cub Crafters and X-Cub just because the visibility is pretty good and it's super easy to fly, and the glass cockpit doesn't give me a hard time about not using USR numbers for the user waypoints, although I haven't checked the latest updates. Maybe the Garmin is now accepting them as well, so I may try a Garmin aircraft to see if the Garmin is now working and playing well with others. So let's go ahead and fly it. Okay, so as you can see, Microsoft Flight Simulator didn't really recognize the airstrip, so liable to be a rough takeoff. It looks like in the satellite imagery that it is a paved runway, but again, because it's not in Microsoft Flight Simulator's library, it's not recognizing it. Oh, I guess I should have centered my push pin to make it a little easier. Also, I guess we don't need the lap timer. See our other videos. You can use the lap timer in bush trips or, whenever you want to use it, but I don't really need to time this. It's just a sightseeing trip. So let's go ahead and see if I remember how to take off. Pro tip, boys and girls, take care of your back. Blow out your back, you won't be playing Flight Simulator for a while. As always, these flight plans are free to fly for everyone, so just download them off simflightplan.com/download. I'll include the link to this one in the description box. Just load them up in World Map and you're ready to fly. The X-Cub is a standard aircraft, but of course if you have something you'd rather fly, you can change your aircraft in flight plan. I guess let's go check out the Castillo de la Ballesta. I wonder if that's it down in the little valley there. Looks like there's a parking lot up on the bank there, as if it's a touristy spot, but no Castillo aquí. But I'm guessing that's our Mallos de Riglos right ahead of us right there. And if you don't want to fight with the wind, you might want to turn off live weather, because I bet it's windy here a lot of the time. Well, it looks to be our Castillo de Marqueo imagery. Doesn't look like Flight Simulator knows what to do about that. Right here near the Mallos de Riglos. There they are, Mallos de Riglos, which not familiar with those words, but I'm assuming it refers to giant granite rocks, probably ridge, Riglos. At the entrance to the Pyrenees. Pretty dramatic entrance, that's pretty cool. And I think we're off to Esco, which is, now this was a flight simulator point of interest, and Esco is a Mysteries of the Abandoned point of interest. And the lovely little town of Riglos. I have to admit, I don't recall what happened at Esco. You'll have to go watch season 6, episode 11 to find out what happened. I mean, it is Mysteries of the Abandoned, so there's a mystery for you. Guess we can check the map, but I think I'm just following this river valley all the way, largely. Oh, looks like there's some historical places to see along the way. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything to see there. When it says ruins, unless they're really big ruins, a lot of times tough to see on the satellite imagery. Looks like there's lots of hiking here through the Pyrenees in this area. I imagine that's some fun hiking. I didn't set any altitudes in this flight plan yet. I may if there's a lot of drastic up and down later, but looks like if you go about 4,000 feet or 1,000 meters ish, these are obviously in meters. As long as you stay at about 1,000, 1,500 meters or 4,000 ish feet, you're good in the low portions of the Pyrenees here. Let's see, is Esco in this valley or the next one? It's this one. So Esco should be right over here on the other side of the lake, on the other side of this ridge line. Let's go down and take a look, see if I remember what the episode was about. Guess I should take notes when I watch Mysteries of the Abandoned to see what exactly these places are, if I don't remember. Although, again, you can go watch the episode and find out for yourself. I'm going to assume that's Esco, tucked right up in there. That would be Esco, I assume. Would appear to be a mine of some sort. Looks like we've got some ruins over here, though. Not marked on the map. So that's Esco. And our next one is the Canfranc Rail Station that I've been wanting to see. Now after I've built it up, I hope it's not just a line on the satellite imagery. We'll see. Points of interest aside, it's a scenic flight through the Spanish Pyrenees. Looks like our Canfranc Rail Station is just on the other side of this ridge line. Guess what I'll do is go ahead and put an altitude here, and then you can climb at your leisure. So let's change to meters, and we need to be, looks like 2,500 meters, I guess we'll call it. Set back to feet since I'm American. I guess we'll round it off. 8,200, we'll call that 85. But we're gonna have to circle down into the valley here and see what we can see. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, there's a dam down there too. That's definitely it. The building itself is amazing. It's a really, really cool building with lots of ornate decoration and the facade on the building. See if I can get turned around in here. Oh wow, that's just the satellite imagery. It actually looked like it was rendered 3D from above, but you can see it's even the roof is super ornate. I think it's like a slate roof. Let's go take a look at the dam and then we'll loop back around. I think I'm going to need a little wider section of the valley to loop back around. That should be okay right there. Again, the scenery is pretty fantastic in terms of just the natural scenery in this whole section of Spain. I guess this is all Aragon. Apologies if I'm incorrect, Spanish friends. I thought there was a dam down here somewhere. Yeah, there. Is that it? Yeah, there we go. There's our dam. I bet you I'm about to fly into a hill. If we fly up the river, we should get one more good look at the Canfranc Rail Station. That's it. That's our Canfranc Rail Station. Again, as I recall from the episode, it was built pre-World War II, and it was necessary because of the different gauge railways in France versus Spain. Oh, looks like we need to go up this valley here. And I guess with the advent of World War II, obviously it kind of put everything in Europe on hold, so I guess maybe it didn't survive financially. As I recall, the local town is trying to restore it or, you know, make it a tourist attraction, which again, I'd encourage you to watch the episode. The building itself is pretty amazing. Looks like there's all sorts of hiking and mountain climbing in the area too, unsurprisingly. And Lac de Cap de Long, so I guess we're going to be crossing into France here shortly for our next, well, it's 26 miles, so maybe not so shortly. I believe that was a world map point of interest, and unless you want to circle over the Canfranc railway station, you're going to want to use the map to climb up out of the valleys here. I may need to set an altitude for Lake de Cap du Long, or de Long, because it looks like we're going to have to clear these ridges in front of us before we get there as well. Yeah, it looks like we may have to be over 9,000, 10,000 feet. We'll see. I guess I can check it. It's Pico Garmo Negro ahead of us. What do we got here? 26, 28, call it 3,000 meters, so 10,000 feet, yeah. I'm supposed to be on the other side of that peak, but looks like either side is about the same. I didn't see the French border on the map, but I think we're getting either closer to or in France at this point. That's certainly France down there. I guess we can zoom out, figure out what country we're in. Oh, I guess this is the Andorra region. I think I said Aragon. It's hard to spot the border. There it is. Yeah, I guess we crossed into France 5 miles ago. That's our lake. Is that a bridge or a dam? Probably a dam. And there's the dam. And again, the Lac de Cap de Long is a world map point of interest. Get another quick look at the dam on the way out. Try not to run into a mountain. Oh wow, there's our observatory. That's pretty impressive. Perched up there on, what is that? Pic du Midi? Pic du Midi Bigorre? One thing I don't notice though is they don't seem to have a train station. Looks like you want to come here, you gotta drive it yourself. Oh, looks like they hit all the detail. That's pretty impressive. They seem to have a whole bunch of telescopes and antennas up here. And our next waypoint's the airport at 15 miles at Lourdes. So basically just a whole lot of descending to do from this point forward. Thought I would see it by now, but I guess I should check my approach. Oh yeah, it's big runway. Looks like I want to follow that highway in to my left. And there's the town of Lourdes. I don't think I need my map anymore. Good thing we got a nice long runway. Pretty rusty. Alright, and so this is Lourdes Airport, and that's the end of Mysteries of the Abandoned Canfranc leg. Again, these flights are free to download and fly for everyone. Oh, this is not a taxiway. That is now. What am I doing here? Anyway, these flights are free to fly for everyone. Just go to simflightplan.com/download. I'll include the link to this one in the description box. Feel free to download and fly it yourself. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe.